Welcome to Paper Crafters Library. In this video I'm going to show you how to create this congratulations greeting card featuring Stampin' Up's Sassy Salutations stamp set, as well as Stampin' Up's Sycamore Street collection buttons, ribbon, as well as the designer paper. So let's get started. You're going to need a 4 1/4 by 11 inch piece of Pool Party cardstock, and I've gone ahead and scored it down the center at 5 1/2 inches with my paper trimmer and scoring blade. You're going to fold and crease along that score line with your bone folder, creating a standard sized 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card base. For this card, I'm going to rotate my fold so that I have a left-hand side folded card instead of a top one. So I'm just going to have it in a landscape manner. Once you have your card folded, you're going to set this aside, and you're now going to need a piece of Whisper White cardstock that measures 1 1/2 by 4 7/8 inches. You're going to stamp your greeting onto the top. You're going to center your greeting on the top portion of this piece of Whisper White cardstock. And my greeting is found in the Sassy Salutations greeting stamp set from Stampin' Up. I'm going to ink this up and stamp it using my StazOn jet black ink. Once you've stamped your greeting, you can set aside your stamp as well as your ink, and you're now going to need a piece of Island Indigo cardstock that measures 1 5/8 by 4 7/8. You're going to center and stick your greeting piece of cardstock to your Island Indigo piece using some double-sided adhesive. So I'm just going to leave equal borders above and below my Whisper White piece of cardstock. Once that's stuck down, you're then going to need a 6-inch piece of the Island Indigo 1/4 inch satin ribbon found in the Sycamore Street collection. You're going to lay that on the bottom portion of your matted cardstock, wrap the ends of your ribbon around to the back, and stick those down with your double-sided adhesive. Once you have that complete, you're just going to set your greeting aside for a moment, and you're now going to bring in your 3 buttons, again found in the Sycamore Street collection. I have 2 in the rich raspberry color and 1 in Pool Party, and you're going to need 3 pieces of Island Indigo baker's twine, each measuring 8 inches, and you're just going to insert the end of your baker's twine through the buttons, bringing both ends up to the front of your button and tying your baker's twine into a small bow. You're going to repeat this for all 3 buttons. Once you have your bow on the front of your button, then you're just going to trim off the excess tails. So I'm just making my bows a smaller size. And then once you're happy with the size of your bow, then you can just bring your paper snips in and trim off the excess baker's twine. You're going to repeat that with all 3 buttons. So once you have all 3 of your buttons with their bows tied into them, you're going to bring your matted greeting back in, and you're going to stick your buttons to the ribbon along the bottom of your greeting using some mini glue dots. So I'm just going to place a mini glue dot behind my Pool Party button, and I'm going to stick that down directly over top of the middle of my ribbon. I'm going to repeat this with my 2 rich raspberry buttons, sticking the buttons to the left and right of the Pool Party button. Then I'm going to add in a mini glue dot behind each of my buttons there, just because I don't want it to pull forward on my ribbon. So I'm just lifting off a mini glue dot with my tweezers and sticking that behind each of the buttons right to the cardstock, just like so. Once you have that in place, you're now going to set this aside for a moment, and we're going to need a piece of Island Indigo cardstock that measures 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches, and you're going to need a piece of the Sycamore Street Collection designer paper that measures 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. You're going to center and stick your piece of designer paper to your piece of Island Indigo cardstock, leaving equal borders on all 4 sides. You're then going to bring your greeting back in, and we're going to stick our greeting centered onto our matted designer paper using some Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm just going to apply a few Stampin' Dimensionals to the back of my greeting, peel off the backings, and then I'm going to center this onto my matted designer paper, aligning the left and right edges of my greeting with the left and right edges of my designer paper. Now that you've got this stuck down, you're going to bring your card base back in. We're going to center and stick our matted greeting here with our designer paper right to our card base using some Stampin' Dimensionals. So apply some to the back of your card base, remove the backings, and then you're going to center and stick this to your card base, leaving equal borders on all 4 sides. And there you have your finished congratulations greeting card. I hope you enjoyed stamping with me. If you enjoyed this video, you enjoyed the way we teach, and would like to learn even more, we invite you to check out the Paper Crafters Library. Whether you're a beginner looking to learn the basics, or an advanced paper crafter looking to learn new skills and techniques, you'll find it all here. Stamping, card making, scrapbooking, altered art, we cover it all. With over 1,000 videos currently in our library and over 50 videos added each month, we are the largest and most comprehensive online library of video tutorials for paper crafters on the internet. We invite you to visit our library and see what we're all about.